Hello and welcome to your second video for today. We are covering lesson 5-3 and part of its bivariate data. Another thing that we need to talk about is if something is linear or non-linear. So if something is linear, it's going to be a straight line and it's going to have a constant rate of change. Constant rate of change. If something is non-linear, which non-linear, if you look really quick, this first four letters is not a line. Basically, that's all they're saying, not a line. So if we were going to connect all of the dots, it would not make one straight line, and it does not have a constant range, does not have a constant rate of change. Okay, so we're going to be talking a little bit more about that today. Does not have a constant rate of change. So if we look very quickly, and also I'm just going to be reviewing all the way back for the past few modules here. So if you look at number 1, and if we were going to connect all of those dots, isn't this linear? And because it's a straight line and it has a constant rate of change. So they want us to find the equation. So y equals blank x plus blank. So I'm going to find some ordered pairs here. So it looks like we have an ordered pair at 260. So I'm going to use this one right here, 260. That first one's not nice. This third one's not nice, but 4 looks good. So 4, 120. Okay, now using those two ordered pairs, I'm going to find slope. And remember the y values go on top. So it's 120 minus 60 and 4 minus 2. So it looks like we've got 60 over 2, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. So that I get my slope to be 30. All right, now I need to take one of these ordered pairs, it doesn't matter which one, and plug it in, x, y. So in place of y, I'm going to put 60. And in place of the x, I'm going to put a 2, and I'm going to solve for b. All right, so I have 60. Good thing I picked red because I'm going to write right over this, equals 60 plus b. So I'm going to subtract 60 from both sides, and 60 minus 60 is 0. Oh, so this is saying that my y-intercept is 0 right here. So I guess, look, if we just keep going all the way through and keep the pattern going, isn't it going to go right through the origin? So this is proportional. It is linear because it's a straight line and has a constant rate of change. So we can write this equation as just y equals 30x. All right, going on to number 2. So we kind of have to do the same thing. So let's see, that looks like a good point right there. And that point looks like it's 412. And I'm going to skip and use this point right here. So that looks like it's 822. All right, so now I'm going to find my slope. So remember, it's change in y over change in x. So my y values are these second numbers. So I'm going to do 22 minus 12. And I'm going to do 8 minus 4. So 22 minus 12 is 10. And 8 minus 4 is 4. So let's see if I divide that by 2, I get 5 over 2. So I have y equals 5 over 2x. And now I need to find that y-intercept. Now, I'm only going to use this first ordered pair just because my numbers are smaller and I like to keep it smaller. So in place of y, I'm going to put a 12. Leave your 5 halves. And in place of x, I'm putting a 4. I'm going to solve for b. So go ahead, you guys can grab your calculators and take 5 over 2 times 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we have 12 equals 10 plus b. So that's a positive 10, so I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and I get 2 equals b. So it looks like my y-intercept is going to be 2. All right, so my final equation for number 2 is y equals 5 over 2x plus 2. So my y-intercept is 5 over 2. I'm sorry, my slope for this equation is 5 over 2. My y-intercept is going to be crossing the y-axis at 2. It is a linear relationship. It is a straight line that has a constant rate of change. It is non-proportional because it does not go through the origin. Okay, here we've got a y-intercept of 2, so it's not going through the origin. All right, let's go on to number 3 here. The graph shows a relationship between the number of hours a kayak is rented and the total cost of rental. Write an equation and then predict what it would cost for 5.5 hours. Okay, so we need to write an equation. Y equals blank x plus blank. And if we look, this is a linear relationship. It's a nice straight line here. So let's find some ordered pairs that they give us. Well, it doesn't look like anything is going right through at ordered pairs. So let's see, that's 1. This one right here looks like it's at 1, and that would be 60, so it's halfway between that. So it's at 50. And then the next ordered pair, I'm going to use this one far away. So that one's at 6, and again, it's between lines. So that would be 140. So this must be at 150. So I think the hardest thing in here is going to be pulling off those ordered pairs. All right, so our slope is going to be change in y over change in x. So here's my y values. So 150 minus 50 all over 6 minus 1. So that's 100 over 5, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. So this y-intercept, this slope is going to be 20. Now, I'm just going to take this first ordered pair here, x, y. So in place of y, I've got 50. I'm going to substitute in place of x, I got a 1, and I'm solving for my y-intercept. So 50 equals 20 plus b. Remember, do the opposite operation. So I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. So 30 equals b. So my y-intercept here is 30. So this is a nice straight line, but it is non-proportional because it is not going through the origin. Okay, the last thing that they actually want me to do is find out what 5.5 hours we're going to bring. So in place of x, I'm going to put 5.5. So down here in green, you can see me going 20 times 5.5 plus that initial cost of 30. So grab your calculator, and 20 times 5.5 plus 30, and hopefully you guys already did this assignment and are doing it right. So then this cost is $140. So they're thinking that renting this kayak for 5.5 hours is going to cost you $140. All right, number 4, does each of the following graphs represent a linear relationship? So if we were going to connect all of these dots, do they make a nice straight line? And we could say yes. Why? Because this has a constant rate of change. Constant rate of change. Okay, now let's look at number 5. If we try, let's see if I connect all of these dots. Now that's not just me drawing bad. It literally is curvy. So this one is not. Why not? Because it does not have a constant rate of change. Okay, so that's going to be the difference here. So anytime things look a little curvy, that is going to be not linear because it does not have a constant rate of change. Okay, and we can tell that pretty quick when something is graphed. All right, number 6. How can you tell if a bivariate data shows a linear relationship? Well, I just said if we graph it, then we can see if it's a straight line or not. So first thing you're going to want to do is graph it, and is it a straight line or not? Okay, so the big thing that we're finding here is slope from 2 ordered pairs, slope, and then the y-intercept by plugging those ordered pairs in, and then if something is linear or not. Is it a nice straight line? If it's not a straight line, then it is not linear. So sometimes you might have to check. Let's see if this assignment goes on at all. So if it goes on, and let's see if I can find any other sample problems here. So sometimes you might have to check the slope between these 2 points and then the slope between these 2 points and the slope between these 2, because they would have to all be the same. So if you looked at number 7 on your homework, so if you look at number 7, if you just look at page 145, they have the ordered pair 315 and they have 945. This one's actually a good one. And then 21 over 105. So I would first find the slope here. 45 minus 15 and 9 minus 3. So 45 minus 15 is 30. 9 minus 3 is 6. And 30 divided by 6 is 5. Then you also have to do the slope here. So if we do 105 minus 45, and then check the slope, 21 minus 9. So we have 60 divided by 12, and that's 5. And because both of these are the same, this is linear. Okay, this would be linear. Now, if you looked at number 8 on that next page over there, it also has 3 pieces of data, 530, 8 and 76.8, and 14, 235.2. So if we do this, 76.8 minus 30 and 8 minus 5. Well, I can do that one in my head. That's 3. And 76.8 minus 30 is 46.8. Now, when we divide this out, we get 15.6. Okay, now we have to do the slope here. So 235.2 minus 76.8 and 14 minus 8. So we get a 6 on the bottom, and the top is 158.4. So grab your calculators, and 158.4 divided by 6 is, I don't have that, so bear with me while I grab my calculator. 158.4 divided by 6 is 26.4. Do you see how this slope and this slope are different? So this is not linear. It does not have a constant rate of change. So if you have more than one piece of data, sometimes you're going to have to find all of those slopes. All right, good luck on the rest of your homework assignment.